The 3764, Elvis Presley Boulevard. Hit it, Elvis. You got me.
Hey guys, welcome to another video here at EP Back on Tour. Today we're going to do something a little different, something that we usually don't do. We're actually going to be doing a book review. As you can see, it's going to be on the rather large book, Yours, Elvis Presley. This came out a while ago, and it's basically a collection of Elvis Presley autographs. It's done by Stephen Schutz with the help of a lot of people, but one that in particular we're good friends with is Lyndell Morris. We have known him for a couple years, and we saw him last year during Elvis Week in Memphis. And so they sent this to us, and we wanted to do a book review on it, kind of show you guys what's inside, what you get if you were to purchase it, and our thoughts on it. I mean, I was really impressed with the book and the layout and, you know, all the information that's inside. You get the book, which comes in a case. You got the book here and then the case, and then you get a study guide, which is a cool feature in here. So we just wanted to kind of give you our thoughts on it and you know, some more information on it. So I mean, what did you think when you were going through?
Well, let's break it down. First, I'm a high quality guy. I'm a guy that, you know, you look at the cover of a book and then you open up the book and then it kind of goes a little bit south on you. You know, it's not as good as you thought. Mm-hmm. But when I opened up this book, and let's be up front right now, and you can back me up on this, mm-hmm. you know, these folks don't send us a book and then say, hey, you know, can you give us a shout out? Mm-hmm. That was never asked for.
Right.
We've been gifted a lot of books by a lot of authors, and you know, kind of looking forward, I think we need to do some book reviews mm-hmm. on some other books that some folks that have gifted us, you know, kind of back a while ago. Mm-hmm. But I was really taken aback by the quality of the cover. I mean, you can hear, you know, that's a heavy cover, and it comes nicely protected, and I like that. And then after that, you open the book, and what I love about this book is it has a ton, literally a ton of pictures in it. And basically what it does is it goes through the autographs, the signature of Elvis from, I think if you go back to the early days, you've got a signature where he signed a yearbook in 1953, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
1954.
I'm sorry. And then you go into where he says, like the first couple signatures that he ever did for anyone, he actually put on there his name, and then he said a singer at Sun. So, you know, singer at Sun Records, which I thought was pretty cool because he was just wasn't well known. So
yeah, just to confirm, it actually is 1953 was the Humes High School, and then 1954 was the tuxedo photo. So just to confirm
right,
that.
Yeah. So what it is, it's basically a book that goes through, I think the first one is the high school yearbook, mm-hmm. and then I think it goes, the last one that Stephen actually documented was in 1976, was for a purchase of a car. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was October, looks like October 1976.
Right.
Looks like he was Hillcrest Motors Cadillac dealership in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. And it's really neat because it shows how the signature changed. And then what I love about this is, Michael, show the study guide over there where it takes the first known autograph of Elvis, and it basically goes through his entire career, and it breaks it down year after year after year. It goes through the movie years, and it goes through the concert years, and all these different signatures. And what's cool about the book is it actually, like in 1972, there's some photos in there where Elvis is leaving like Tulsa, and he signed a signature, signed his signature, and you can see how the signature changed over the years. So just a excellent book to have in your collection, and especially, I don't know about you, but I've never been an autograph guy really for anybody. I mean, you know, just anybody that I'd rather just meet them and shake their hand and get a picture than I would their autograph. The autograph thing with Elvis, you know, if I would have met him and got an autograph and a picture, that would be different. But to purchase something that somebody else had signed, I don't know, you know, you guys out there could kind of chip in on this and tell me what you guys think. But I don't know, you know, having one signature I think would be cool to say, hey, we have Elvis's signature in his, you know, in his ink and his pen. But I don't know. If I didn't get it, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm kind of on the same page with that. I mean, you know, nowadays, especially, you know, 50 years later, I mean, obviously it would be really cool to like own, you know, his autograph.
Right.
But I mean, there's a lot of people out there that, you know, for some reason just they like collecting other things
Right.
in the Elvis world. So I mean, it's definitely a like a niche in the community. I mean, they made a book on it. So
Right.
obviously, I mean, you got and this is volume 1, and I've seen that there's a possibility for volume 2 coming out. You got the yearbook 53, and then this one here was in late 1976, the first and last one in this book, and then the study guide, like we were saying. I mean, this is really cool and really well done. I mean, as you can see, it gives you examples from different years, and it gives you things to look for, like in these signatures, to see if they're authentic or forgeries. I mean, it gives you examples of authentic autographs, and then it gives you examples of forgeries. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people out there that, you know, can, I guess, do a forgery well and fool people, and so this is a good way for people to, you know, look at it and be like, right, if I'm gonna, you know, purchase a signature from Elvis, what do I need to look for?
What I love about that study guide is it is literally just that. It allows you to go through his entire life and
Right.
see how his signature changed, you know, because usually when people become more popular, they get a little bit more fancy. If you notice, like a lot of presidents or whatever, you know, if you go back early in their life, it was a basic signature. And then as they, you know, went through their political career, it became bigger and bolder. Elvis, you know, kind of the same way. You know, you get a little bit bigger and you kind of put a little bit more flair to it. So, but I think the thing that really jumps out at me is the quality. Whoever, I don't know that much about, you know, you know, if I was writing a book, you know, I don't know how you go about that, like who makes the book and all that. But whoever made this book did a quality job. I mean, this is well put together.
Yeah.
It's a solid book. It's a book you don't have to worry about, you know, if you thumb through the pages 20, 30, 40, 50 times, it's not going to fall apart.
Yeah.
So great job on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, going back to the study guide, I mean, one thing that, you know, I'm sure a lot of people that are, you know, well versed in the signatures and like the Elvis world and all that stuff know that after a while that the secretaries for Elvis just had a stamp
Right.
with his name, and you know, not a lot of people would know that, but it goes into the specifics of, you know, the stamp that his secretaries would use to, you know, stamp letters and stuff. And so I'm sure that there's a lot out there where people are like, oh, I have a signature from Elvis, but it was actually a stamp. So,
Right.
you know, it gives you a lot of different perspectives and a lot of information on it. And I think it's just a really cool concept, because I personally, I haven't seen a book that, you know, goes this in depth on his signatures through the years. And, you know, it's like we said, it's just really well done.
Well, and that's what I like about it. It's a very defined thing. You know, in other words, it's not 12 different topics. It's focused on the signature. And Stephen Schutz is you know, he had the TV show, right? You know, Rockology, where he went in. He's got a fabulous collection of different historical items and everything. And just he's actually contacted us a couple times and wanted to do some things, and they just didn't work out. I hope that eventually, at some point in time, we could do something with him, because he's a very nice guy, a very big Elvis fan, and somebody who's very big on Elvis's legacy, protecting Elvis's legacy. So, yeah, hopefully one day we'll be able to do something with him when, you know, when time is right and things can just work out. But
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the possibility of volume 2 coming out, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe when they were making this book and putting it together, they go and ask people to like send in their pictures of their autographs that they have, and that's what a lot of this is just a compilation of people's collections and different signatures.
The pictures in here, we don't want to give the book away. I don't like, when we'll sit here and show you all the pictures and you're like, well, why even buy the book? But the pictures in here are phenomenal. There's a ton of stories in here where it shows maybe a fan who got got something signed backstage, and then they will show, that Stephen will show all the background information around that, show the person's name, show maybe where it was signed. There was one photo in there that showed where a lady took off her shoe and Elvis signed the bottom of the shoe. And it's full of great stories and just a lot of pictures. And it'd be something really cool to like just have in your, not only in your collection, but just lay out on a coffee table to thumb through it, at your leisure.
Yeah, I mean the color scheme, like on the cover and everything, is really good with the picture, and I just like going in here and looking at the stories from how some of these were acquired, and what was what happened when these signatures were received and everything. I mean, there's ones from 1967 where somebody was visiting Memphis, and they were able to get one from them, and like it's really cool to see like little pieces of just paper and things that people had in like their purse or their pocket, and they pulled out, and that's what they had him sign.
Well, there's one in there I think where just somebody had like a memo pad that maybe they had and just ripped off, and here's one from 1972 when the summer festival was going on, and they just happened to see Elvis I mean, can you imagine? Yeah. You just go to you say, I saved up my money, I'm going out to Vegas to the summer festival, I'm going to see one show, I've spent all my money, and you just happen to be. What are the chances of that when you think about it? Elvis performed. Now look at Elvis's day. When he's in Vegas, 2 shows a day, right? So perform on the elevator up to a suite, stays up there a while, comes back down, performs a second show, back on the elevator, up to a suite. What are your chances of seeing Elvis, in Vegas, or really anywhere, for that matter? But, somewhere like Vegas, where it was a very controlled environment where, on stage, backstage, elevator, hotel, back down, it's very controlled. So for you to meet him and see him there, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we just wanted to come on here and, give our take on the book. We think it was really well done. We're looking forward to volume 2 coming out. And we're going to put all the contact information in the description of this video. And I think one place I saw you can get this is on Amazon.
Yep.
I mean, you can also contact Stephen Schutz or Lyndell Morris. Like I said, I'll put the information in the description if you want to reach out to them. You can also ask them further questions about, volume 2 and the works on that. So, this is a really good book. We are really excited to have it in our collection. It's got a lot of great information. The study guide, the book itself, the cover, and all that is just so well made, and we're just really, really thrilled with how this turned out, and so happy that they sent this to us.
And overall, let's just give a little shout out. I know different people, run in different groups of friends and people that they know and everything, but we've known Lyndell now for quite a while and has treated us just superbly. I mean,
Absolutely.
Just a great guy, and just very, very nice, and treated us incredibly nice. And when we were in Memphis last year, when we got to spend some time with him. So, and again, we are not book review guys. There's a couple sites on Instagram and so forth that do actual book reviews. So we're not coming out here and saying, we're going to get into book reviews. That's not our gig. You guys know what we do. We go out and document the buildings where Elvis performed. We're getting ready to go out and do some more here soon. I told Michael the other day, I said, these were gifts to us, and the least we could do is, do a review to help the folks out who produce this. And again, you can always tell when something is a labor of love. I don't think that this was ever produced to make millions of dollars. I really don't. I think it was produced to preserve Elvis's legacy and to protect Elvis's legacy. So anytime somebody does that, I'm all in. And we've got a few more folks that have gifted us books, and we are going to, over time, we'll do reviews on what they've sent us. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like we said, we got a couple more books that we're just gonna do a little review on down the road. But we just really wanted to give these guys a shout out for all the hard work that they put into this book. And like I said, hopefully volume 2 is coming out soon. We saw a little bit of information on that, so we're looking forward to that one. And like I said, we'll have all the contact info in the description of this video. You can reach out to them for any information or questions that you might have.
let me just say one more thing with regards to these, when we talk about labor of love. With what we do, going out on the road and documenting the buildings that Elvis performed in and everything, we don't do it for money. We don't, we're not funded in any way. We do it because it's our hobby. We love Elvis, and we want to preserve the things while they're still here. Mm-hmm. And so when somebody does something like this, you've got to understand the amount of work and the amount of money that is spent. We've never done a book, probably never will, but when you think about that, that's money that's coming out of your own pocket. Mm-hmm. No, nobody's sitting there going, "Hey, here's $1 million. Go do a book." Mm-hmm. That's somebody that says, "You know what? I believe in this so much. I want to do some sort of a book or something like that." That says a lot about somebody. Mm-hmm. So, and there's a lot of them out there. We've got a lot of good friends that are out there that are doing books, and they're spending their own money. So, I tip my hat to you guys.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and we will be back with a couple more book reviews down the road. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, guys.